Blunt Talk with LT, episode 48. This episode is brought to you by StatGwop.com. This episode is also brought to you by Anchor.fm. Start your own podcast. All right, so we're going to get into this real quick. About to take off. About to head on vacation. About to drop a vacation vlog. You won't see that real quick, real soon. Shit. Kevin Hart got into a fucking accident. 3 people injured in the accident. Not even 3 people injured. 3 people were in the car. The car was extremely totaled. If you see the pictures are crazy. Kevin Hart had major back injuries in the accident. No, the other 2 people were not injured in the car. It was a male fitness trainer and a woman fitness trainer. The male was driving the car. Kevin Hart was in the passenger, or I don't know where Kevin Hart was seated, but the male and the female were trapped in the car, but Kevin Hart was the only one that sustained injuries in his 1970, I don't know the model of the car, but that shit's fucked up. Everyone's on Twitter praying for Kevin Hart. Yeah, no one wants to see Kevin Hart injured. Kevin Hart hurt. We got these movies to see. We got these stand-up specials to see. Kevin Hart has a lot of career to live out, so, his fans are supporting him. No one's, really. Usually you see people jump on Twitter or say some bullshit or hate and then try to reach for a story. We don't really see that going on right now. People are just supporting stand-up, and we're supporting our, Kevin Hart. It's been a big week for stand-up. Speaking of stand-up, we got Dave Chappelle dropping a special. Andrew Schulz dropping a special. Actually, on the same day, Dave Chappelle dropped a special on Netflix. Shit's been killing. Everybody's fucking with it. I'm fucking with it. Probably one of his best specials to date. People that hate on Dave Chappelle are regarding the special as one of instant classic, pretty much. People pretty much go out of their ways to put it out there in the media that, I don't really think that Dave Chappelle's the funniest, but this special was funny. And I'm like, where is this opinion coming from? I ain't hear this opinion before. I feel like these niggas is just trying too hard to have these random new opinions to go against the grain. It's not really their opinion, but whatever. Dave Chappelle's been killing it. Dave Chappelle is probably this installment of the GOAT list. It's going to be hard to argue the GOAT list for stand-up comedians because it's so subjective. Older folks will tell you Richard Pryor. Other folks will tell you Eddie Murphy. And, newer folks like me will tell you Dave Chappelle. Some folks will say Chris Rock. I'm a Chris Rock fan, but no, I'm going with Chappelle here. Chappelle's the GOAT. People want to talk about, Eddie Murphy has 2 stand-up specials, both instant classics, but that's about it. If Eddie Murphy kept going, and the amount of influence that Eddie Murphy has, you can put him on as the GOAT for the GOAT list, but with someone like Chappelle, who, he disappeared. He had a 10-year gap where he kind of disappeared because of the Chappelle show and the whole bullshit, business he was dealing with. So he dipped for 10 years. But other than those 10 years, it was consistency from the start, consistency when he got back, making the club circuit around the country, not just putting out the 1-2 specials. He put out 4 specials in the past 2 years. Possibly more. I might be misquoting them. I should probably get the stats correct before I start spilling that shit. Dave Chappelle. Hold on. I'm going to actually go get that fucking stat. None of this trash. How much stand-up specials. I'm going to see exactly how much stand-up specials Dave Chappelle has. Let me see this real quick. Bear with me, listeners. How many specials does Dave Chappelle have? Not on Netflix, motherfucker. How much does he have, period? Oh, really? I'm going to use Wikipedia, but Wikipedia is going to be my source. Let's see. There's no basic answer. I'm really going to have to read through this entire thing. Why does this always do this to me? Filmography, okay. Televisionography, great. Awards, Emmy is great. Screen Actor Awards, Miscellaneous Awards. Holy shit, Dave Chappelle has a lot of accolades. Comedy Awards, Teen Choice Awards, BET Awards. Chappelle Award got a Chappelle Show got a Producers Guild Award. Yes, Grammys, Best Comedy Album twice in 2018 and 2019, back-to-back years. Emmys for his show, Emmys for one of his stand-ups. Holy shit. Okay, stand-up special. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He has 6 stand-up specials. Am I counting that wrong? No, he has 7. Niggas is blind out this bitch. Man has 7 stand-up specials. Even more credence to, add him to that GOAT list, because you could probably watch all 7 and there's no way you're telling me any of those are trash. Maybe not all of them are classics, but none of them are trash. And then when you have 7 and you're still going and you're consistent, you have all these awards and accolades. Just going to this page alone pretty much made my GOAT list episode this time. I didn't really have to do much speaking. I just read off of the page these accolades, and it kind of just he kind of just stumbled into the GOAT list himself. So, wrap up that segment. All right, so Andrew Schulz dropped a comedy special. It was the crowd work special. He pretty much did like off the top type comedy, crowd work, dissing the crowd, communicating with the crowd, getting along with the crowd. That was his entire special, 35-minute special. He dropped it the same day Dave Chappelle dropped his special. He even made reference to it in his special. I don't know why he would drop on the same day as Dave Chappelle. I know he wanted to do this whole celebrating comedy thing. He wanted to compete. He wants to compete. He wanted to compare it and all. But it's off the dome. It's not deep, thought-out humor like Dave Chappelle. It's not trending. It's not on Twitter. No one's talking about it. You're not the talk of any discussion because you dropped the same day as Dave Chappelle. Yeah, he did his views. Andrew Schulz is doing decent views. He's actually moving up. I fucks with Schulz and his wave or whatever the fuck he's doing with comedy, but not the wisest decision if you wanted to get more clout and you wanted to, buzz up by dropping on the same day as Dave Chappelle, because you get overshadowed. I know he's really following that music concept, and he's trying to, adapt with the way the rappers had their music model, and he's adapting the comedy model to the music model. But this isn't the way at this point, because this shit can go backwards. It can backfire on you. It's like when 50 did the shit with Kanye. It didn't go well for 50. Like, he still did well sales-wise, but when it came to public image and aura, kind of elevated Kanye and kind of pushed him down. So it's like, you competing on the same day, you want to adapt that hip-hop model to your shit. It might not work out in the best way, is what I'm saying. That the comedy special was good. It was a good special for something off the top for 35 minutes. Great work. Nothing wrong with it. You can't really compare or compete with Chappelle when Chappelle had a well-crafted out hour plus an epilogue. Can't really compete with that. And pretty much the 85 South show is dropping one of those crowd work specials every fucking week pretty much, because these niggas go on tour and they have their stand-up from city to city. They record it, and most of it's crowd work. Most of it's off the top, so it's like, it's pretty much the same shit. I'm not trying to hate and say he didn't do anything innovative, but it's not like it wasn't done before. Okay, so Wendy Williams into 50 Cent news, because 50 Cent, you know how 50 be doing. 50 be trolling these motherfuckers. Be running the Instagram shit. 50's up to like 24 million followers or some shit. Wendy Williams got kicked out of his venue. Wendy Williams tried to get into 50's tycoon party. Didn't go her way. She took an L. She got denied at the door. Then she was on Hollywood Unlocked talking to Jason Lee Capin, saying that she was just there to talk to Snoop Dogg, and brought her son all the way to 50's tycoon party just to speak to Snoop Dogg and take a picture for a brief moment and dip. That was her story, and she's sticking to it. That's her story, and she's running with it. She's not looking back. She's not blinking twice. That's her story. People can believe it. I think it sounds weird to me. I wouldn't be showing up at someone's party to meet somebody outside and then take a picture and dip. That's kind of a waste of my time. But, who knows? maybe there was something around the corner, a venue around the corner that she was going to after. Maybe she was just in the area. Who the fuck knows, you know? Maybe. I wasn't there. I don't know the ins and outs. I ain't in their brain. So that's just my opinion. What else did I get to? I pretty much covered my subjects. I'm trying to get into these real quick because I gotta wrap up this episode. Gotta catch a flight soon. Gotta be out of here. Niggas went that Super Saiyan blonde out in this bitch. Now we can get back into some sports talks real quick before we wrap up this episode. Let me get to the basketball before I get to the football. This is one of the worst FIBAs for the United States of America. I know we're just in the group phase and they're 1-0. They just beat Czech Republic or something. But they lost that winning streak, that 78-game winning streak. Trash. Their team is trash compared to any U.S. team in the past, pretty much. Best player is Kemba Walker. He's pretty much the only all-star, him and Chris Middleton. I think I spoke about this before, but it's not looking good. You see other teams, the Australias of the world, even Canada looks decent out here. Like there's teams that are beating, like slapping up teams more than the U.S. is slapping up teams. And it's like, what is going on? Hanging 35, 40 points on these motherfuckers, and the U.S. is struggling to beat a team by 20, struggling to hold a 15-point lead. At one point, they were down to the Czech Republic. I'm like, what is going on? They lost that one game to Australia. Dude, that shit's an embarrassment. Like, if I'm Kyle Kuzma, I'm happy I'm out that bitch. They tried to say Kyle Kuzma needed to go because he had blonde hair and he was embarrassing the States. I'm like, fuck that, nigga. These commentators is cap as hell. But at the end of the day, that States team's trash. I'm happy Kyle Kuzma's out, rest for the season. We don't need any more injuries on the Lakers. We don't need any more players falling out because we had Demarcus Cousins. Demarcus Cousins had a warrant for his arrest because of the threats he's made to his baby moms on the phone that she recorded. You can tell that was a toxic relationship because she prevented him from having his child at his wedding with his new woman. So that shit's sticky. I don't know the details on that. That's just what the TMZ and the news is reporting. But yeah, man, you can't let these girls trick you out of your spot because that's pretty much what happened. It's like nobody in their right mind or any prosecutor or judge is going to believe Demarcus Cousins is going to go out of his ways to put a bullet through his baby mom's head. It's not going to happen. It's just one of those stupid-ass threats that Boogie makes when Boogie's cheese, because that's what niggas do when they're cheese. They talk shit. And he got caught slipping because she recorded the conversation. I hate that recorded conversation shit. That recorded conversation shit is the biggest Kathy shit of all time. I don't like that shit. Yeah, she can probably spin it and be like she's in fear for her life. Demarcus Cousins is 6'11" and aggressive. Maybe I'm not seeing it that way because all I see is the basketball player. And, I support the nigga. But other than that, it's like that. I don't know, man. That's crazy. He better not get arrested. I don't know what's going on with him because he has that injury, what is it, ACL tear. He's going to be out for most of the season. If this ends up in some real serious charges and he has to do some jail time or some fuck shit like that, that's not going to look good for his career because he has three injuries in the past 2 years, an Achilles, an ACL, and a thigh injury. They're pretty serious injuries for someone of his stature. So it's going to be rough for Boogie to get back into the NBA and get back to Boogie or get back to having a chance at a large contract, a max contract, because the man was clearly on his way to a large contract, averaging, 27 and 12, some ridiculous number like that. 25 and 12, actually. Anthony Davis was at 27, 28. But yeah, 25, 11 boards, 12 boards. That's max contract worthy. But nope, you get injured, that shit goes all the way out the window. We seen what happened to Isaiah Thomas. I keep saying that. These NBA players play with their health. They play with the bag. They play with their money. Shit's fucked up. It's worse than the NFL. Let's get to the NFL, by the way. I'm not going to stay too long on this Boogie Cousins topic. The NFL, there's much talks and a lot of people going on Vlad, like Marcellus Wiley, and a lot of people in the media now talking switching sides on Colin Kaepernick, kind of throwing Nessa under the bus, saying Nessa's, talking for Colin Kaepernick too much, talking too much beacon from her region pretty much. And they're saying she's not black. They're questioning her blackness and saying she shouldn't be calling out these black male stars and these athletes who are making change, and she's not even black. So that isn't the question. If you want to hear the full details and the accusations levied against her, I suggest you watch Marcellus Wiley's interview, because I'm not able to reiterate everything he said off the cusp, so that's not really going to happen if you want to hear the details of that. But for the most part, they're questioning Cap because it seems like he's more interested in getting a job with the NFL, keeping others away from having jobs with the NFL. He's just more looking out for himself. He didn't want Jay-Z to have any type of role, but he wants a job himself. And it seems like it's more about the NFL and getting a job in the NFL, starting quarterback, backup quarterback job, doesn't matter, any type of slot in the NFL, more than it is for the cause, because you don't really hear Colin Kaepernick speak on the cause anymore. Not at all, really. It's not like he ever really spoke on the cause. He's been doing things. It's not like he hasn't been doing things. But when it comes to being a vocal leader, we haven't seen that. And that's what's being called into question currently by, prominent black sports media figures. So that's what's going on in the landscape of Colin Kaepernick. What do I think personally? I think that he should have been more vocal, or he still should be more vocal when it comes to the injustice and the situations that he took a knee for in the first place. And I don't think he should be begging for a job in the NFL so hard. If he really wants to play football, there's the CFL, and I know they're going to beg, yo, you niggas is Canadian. That's why he's saying that. But nah, if you want to prove yourself, or you want that roster spot and you want to still fight your injustice, go play in the CFL. Go cut ass in the CFL, make a soft check, although you're already getting paid from the NFL and Nike, so you're good financially. Go play in the CFL, still fight your cause or whatever if you want to play football that bad. But I don't feel like the NFL is entitled to have him on a roster spot. I know he's probably better than most of the quarterbacks, but try suing a job and then asking a job for an employer for the job. It's kind of difficult. Eric Reed did it. He pulled it off, but, he's a valuable asset. And when you're a valuable asset in any type of sport, sometimes your talent overweighs your negativities that you bring to the table. So you can see how that happens. So pretty much I would like for Colin Kaepernick to be more vocal than Nessa, at least, because it kind of gets annoying when you hear from, a third party instead of the actual person you want to hear from. I don't feel like it's time for everybody to just jump on Colin Kaepernick's back, though, because at the end of the day, we want to focus on the cause. We want to focus on the police brutality and injustice to the black individuals. And a lot of these the problem is, for me, is a lot of these motherfuckers, these cops, is getting suspension. One of the cops that killed a nigga got a suspension. And people are like, is that enough? And I'm like, what, a suspension? He now got suspended after all of that? Suspended? He didn't even lose his job? And we're talking about, is that enough? He's not in jail. He has no charges, and he killed a man for no reason. So it's like, let's get back to that. Let's get back to those talks, if that's what we're talking about. I don't want to hear, or I don't want to discuss or be, fake outraged about Colin Kaepernick not having a starting quarterback job. Do we really give a fuck about that? Because if we really give a fuck about that, then you kind of just null and void, invalid your entire fucking argument. If that's the, the key focus, if that's what we're gonna hone in on, that's not what we're doing out here. All right, we're gonna wrap up this episode. I'm not gonna go on too long about Colin Kaepernick. Let me just think if there's anything else I want to say before. I still got to do that summer wrap up. Don't think I'm not gonna do the summer wrap up, because a lot of shit's been going on in Toronto, a lot of events, a lot of people been hitting me up and telling me to talk about these events, cover this, cover that. So things are going to get covered, from Veld to OVO to Banna to Random Fets to Sands to all of that. Still going to get covered when we get back. Blunt Talk with LT, episode 48. Yerp.